Hey everybody, I'm Ted from Tebex. In this tutorial we are going to link our Unturned server to our Tebex web store. We are first going to prepare our server, so installing RocketMod, connecting to the server, making ourselves admin and making sure that we know what commands to run, and also make sure that everything is working as expected. Then we are going to install the Tebex plugin. We are then going to take that command that we know is working and use it inside of a Tebex package, so our players can start claiming or purchasing that package. Depending if you're hosting the server locally or on what kind of hosting company you're using, the steps should be exactly the same, but they might be in slightly different locations. As you can see here, my server is already running. For now, I'm going to stop the server, then go to Mod Manager. Then under Mods, I'm going to install RocketMod. It says RocketMod is now installed. Please follow the instructions below to enable it on your server. It also gives us a link where we can find more information. Let's actually open this up in case we need it. And then let's press OK. Let's go to our configuration files. Inside of the configuration files, we're going to open up the commands file, commands.dat or DAT, and then we can enable server cheats. I also want to change the name. I will call this Tebex Academy. One more thing I want to do is I want to go into Steam, get my Steam ID and paste that over here. Doing this will automatically give you admin powers when joining a server. There are many different ways to get your Steam ID. If you click on your name on Steam and then go to Profile, you can actually find the Steam ID in the web URL over here. You have to click it, paste it, and then remove the rest of the URL. So just leave the number at the end, and this will be your Steam 64 ID. So after adding my Steam ID, I'm going to click Save and Exit. So now that we made ourselves admin, we enabled server cheats, and we also installed RocketMod, we are then going to start the server and then connect to it inside of the game. So I'm going to copy the connection information, and while this is booting up, we can go to the web console. Here we can see the status of the server, so let's wait for this to boot up. It says here, Steam game server login token not set. Without a login token to the server, it's not visible to the internet server list. It cannot be joined over the internet, and it gives us a link where to go for more information. So I already have this link open. Let's just quickly follow these instructions. We can manually create a server by going to this link. As you can see, I already have one created. As it says down here, create a new game server account. It says app ID. And then from the description, we can see that the Unturned app ID is over here. So let's double click and copy this, paste it over here. And then for the memo, you can put something that you know what is what. I just put Unturned. And then you press create. Then we can take our token. And the reason you can see my token because I can fairly easily just regenerate a new one. And that of course will be done before this tutorial goes live. Don't share your login tokens with anybody that doesn't need that information. So let's copy our login token and we need to put this inside of our config JSON. So let's go back to our configuration files, find our config JSON, open this up, and we put this where it says login token. Let's save and exit. So let's go to our dashboard and then let's just restart the server. Go back to the web console. So now instead we get a server code and it tells us that our friends can use this code directly from the menu to join without port forwarding. So it looks like we are able to connect. Instead of using this code, I'm going to go to our dashboard, copy the connection information. Then inside of the game, I'm going to click on play, connect directly, and then let's paste the information. In this case, we need to separate the port from the IP. Make sure we remove this as well. We didn't set a password, so we should be fine to just connect like this. So let's join. And since we added our Steam ID, we should also automatically be admin and be able to run commands. In this case, I want to make it day. So let's just try day. So open up the chat with enter and let's do day. That works as expected. So we are admin, we are able to run commands. Let's try the command that we actually want to use on Tebex. So in this case, I want to spawn a vehicle. Scrolling down on the same page, we can find the vehicle command. And this is vehicle, then the Steam ID or the player name, and then the vehicle ID. So we have another link for the different kinds of vehicles. You can also search or use some of the filtering options at the top. I think it's only right for us to try a orange truck. If anybody knows why I chose orange, leave a comment down below. So what I will do is /vehicle and then the Steam ID and then 20. Before I do that, I will actually just say vehicle 20 and show you that if you are admin, this will also work and it will just spawn a vehicle for you. But if we want to do this for a specific player anywhere on the map, we need to specify what player by giving the name or Steam ID in the command. I got my Steam ID, so let's do vehicle and then paste my Steam ID. And then we did 20. This will look exactly the same, but this is to demonstrate that it will work when you specify a specific player. If we press enter and then use our arrows, we can cycle through the commands we just used or messages we have sent, so we can see the last command that is working and tested in game. Before we can use Tebex, we need to link it to our game server. This is very simple. Make sure that your web store type is Unturned. If you don't have an Unturned store yet, or you're setting up your first store, I'll quickly create a new project. If you're at this screen, choose I want to monetize my game server, choose Unturned. If you then give your project a name and simply follow these steps, you will end up with a Tebex store with the type Unturned. Let's then go to integrations and go to game servers. I already have a game server created. I will create a new server, select plugin, and click on continue. So let's call this Unturned Academy. I'm not going to add any packages for now. Let's click on continue. Let's then download the RocketMod plugin. Then we need to put this inside of our plugins folder and start or reload the server. So for us, let's go to File Manager. To find our plugins folder, we're going to go to our servers folder, saved, Rocket, and then we have the plugins folder. We can either upload a file over here. In my case, I'm just going to drag and drop it here, and this should also upload it. So as the instructions say, let's go to our dashboard and then restart the server. Let's already copy this command. It looks like we are good. Let's paste our command over here. Press enter. And now you see when running this, it says setting up your secret key. Successfully set up your secret key. This is all looking fine. So now our server is connected to our Tebex store. So let's click on continue. And now we can transfer that command that we already know is working and create it into a package. So let's go to our packages on the left. Let's create a new package. As a price, I'm going to set it to 0 for now. Then we can add a deliverable. So let's add a game server command. We can then select our server we just created. Or if you have multiple, you can select exactly what servers you want to link to this package. Then we can add a command. It asks us when we want to run this command. So in our case, we say when the package is purchased. But as you can see, there are other options as well. Back in game, I'm just going to open up the chat and find the command that was working. Copy this without the slash, we don't need that. We can then paste this as a command inside of our deliverable. But this way, every time somebody buys a package, it would try to spawn a vehicle on my ID. And I reckon that is not exactly what you are looking for. So what we need to do is we need to change this to a variable. You can click here on variables to see what variables are available. If you never worked with variables before, click on help. The ID variable will automatically change into the Steam ID from the player. So all we need to do is copy this and replace that with our own Steam ID. I think I copied an extra space. Yes, I did. So make sure you don't mess up any of the formatting. Through the checkout process, the player will log in with their Steam ID. So this will automatically change to the proper Steam ID. As a side note, we can go into the settings for this specific command. Here we have some more settings. For example, we can execute even if the player is offline. In this case, when spawning a vehicle, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But for example, if we are giving a permission or something that the player doesn't need to be online for, you might just want to execute them as soon as possible. So let's click on create. And this is all we need to do to make it work on Tebex. Let's also quickly look at how we can give an item to a player that is basically the same workflow. And then it's up to you if you want to test that on Tebex by yourself. So again, we're going to find the command first. In this case, it's over here, give, Steam ID, item ID, and then the amount. So let's go in game, open up the chat. And so we're going to do /give, our Steam ID, then the item ID, I chose 16, and then the amount 1. Why did I choose 16? I just chose a random item from this list. Again, link in the description. 16 should give us a Camp X. Well, I didn't save it, so let's paste it again. 16, and then the amount is 1. You can see we got it as our active item. We can also go to our inventory. You can see we have it over here. As you can see, running the commands is super simple. All you need to do is change your Steam ID to the ID variable, and then you could offer it in a package through Tebex. In an upcoming tutorial, we will look at some more advanced packages and some more advanced commands to run. Hopefully, this will help you set up and start configuring your own commands and packages. If anything is unclear, feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching and good luck with your Tebex store.